August 18, 2025, the South China Sea, one of the most vital lifelines for the global economy, where nearly a third of the world's trade flows through every single day. From crude oil to the smartphones in your pocket, from grain shipments to microchips, everything passes through these waters. Any misstep here could ripple into your life, spiking gas prices, emptying store shelves, and shaking markets from Los Angeles to London. This sea is not just water, it's the front line of power, where America and China stand face to face, testing who controls the future. The sun dips toward the horizon when Major John "Hawk" Riley, piloting a stealth F-35C, hears the alarm that makes every pilot's heart stop, a shrill, piercing beep. His cockpit flashes red radar lock. Somewhere in the skies above the Spratlys, a Chinese J-20 stealth fighter has zeroed in on him, hunting like a predator in the dark. Hawk's breath quickens. In that split second, he doesn't just see the red warning light. He sees his daughter back home, waiting for her birthday next week. If he makes the wrong move tonight, she may never see him again. Far below, the USS Ronald Reagan, a floating fortress of American power, cuts through the waters with 70 fighter jets on deck, escorted by 2 destroyers armed with the Aegis missile defense shield. Every radar operator on board knows one mistake, one launch, could set the entire region ablaze. The South China Sea isn't just a map on a screen to them. It's their battlefield, their responsibility, and the fate of global trade rests on their restraint. On the other side of the invisible line, Captain Lai Wai sits in the cockpit of his J-20. The lock on his screen holds steady, an American jet caught in his sights. His orders are clear: pressure the Americans, prove China won't be intimidated. But his finger hovers inches from the trigger, trembling. In the roar of his jet, he thinks of his aging mother in Beijing, her hands frail, her words always pleading with him to stay safe. One wrong twitch, and the firestorm begins. The ocean below bristles with warships. Chinese destroyers and frigates push closer from Hainan, radars sweeping relentlessly, while the American fleet forms a steel circle around the carrier. Electronic warfare fills the air, China flooding U.S. radars with jamming signals, spawning dozens of phantom contacts. Ghost targets dance across screens, confusing operators, real or fake. Someone shouts on the Reagan's bridge, "They are trying to blind us." Then, another chill, a deep sonar ping echoes through the water. A Chinese submarine stalks the carrier from below, its presence felt like a shark circling its prey. In response, an American sub tracks it silently, its captain whispering to his crew, "They're daring us." Above the waves, Hawk Riley's cockpit explodes with warnings. The J-20's lock grips tighter, the radar tone pounding in his ears like a war drum. He slams the countermeasure switch. Flares burst from his jet, blazing across the night sky like fiery meteors, meant to confuse any missile seeking him. On deck, sailors hold their breath, one whispering, "God, keep him safe." The 2 jets weave through the sky like dueling swordsmen, separated by just 15 kilometers. Hawk banks hard the G, forces crushing his chest, sweat stinging his eyes. His enemy matches him move for move, a ghostly blur against the twilight. Down below, officers shout that new contacts are incoming. 2 more Chinese fighters streaking into the area. In response, the Reagan launches F/A-18 Super Hornets, their afterburners glowing against the darkening sea. The sky now teeters on the edge of chaos, a dance of steel and fire that could spiral into all-out war. For 4 heart-pounding minutes, the world teeters on the brink. Radar locks hold, sonar pings echo, flares burn across the night. In Washington, markets tumble, oil prices spike, and analysts whisper about war. In Beijing, commanders watch closely, testing American resolve. To nearby nations like the Philippines and Vietnam, it feels like sitting next to a lit fuse, praying it doesn't reach the powder. Then, like a breath released, the tension eases, A hotline buzzes between Washington and Beijing. The order is given, back down. The J-20 breaks lock, banking hard and fading into the night sky. Hawk, chest heaving, exhales for the first time in minutes, guiding his jet back toward the Reagan. On board, the Admiral keeps his voice steady, though his knuckles are white. Weapons tight, hold formation. The Chinese submarine vanishes into silence. No shots fired. The tinderbox cools, but only just. At 7:30 p.m., the sea breathes again. Hawk's F-35C touches down on the Reagan's deck, tires screeching. Sailors cheer quietly, though their eyes still dart to the horizon. Hawk climbs from his cockpit, muttering to himself, "We're alive." In China, Captain Lai Wai rips off his helmet, gasping, his pulse hammering in his temples. He followed orders, he didn't fire, but he knows. 1 second different, and history would read another story. By the next morning, the fall outspreads beyond the Pacific. Shipping firms raise insurance rates, Wall Street trembles. Analysts in Tokyo, Singapore, and London calculate the cost of even an hour of disruption in a region moving $3. $5 trillion a year. Gasoline prices tick upward. Electronics suppliers whisper about shortages. For ordinary people, this clash in far. Off waters means pricier fuel, more expensive phones, and shaken confidence in a fragile world economy. News outlets scream headlines, America dodges war, a radar clash shakes markets. South China Sea standoff averted. Each side claims a win. Washington insists it upheld freedom of navigation. Beijing declares its territory defended. Smaller nations beg for calm, fearing their waters will become battlegrounds. But the truth is stark. The South China Sea is a powder keg, and tonight it came seconds from explosion. The data gather, radar locks, submarine positions, electronic jamming will fuel the next confrontation. Both sides learn, both sides sharpen their blades, and both sides know the fuse is still lit. This wasn't just about fighter jets and warships, it was about you. Your gas tank, your grocery bill, your phone. One radar lock in the South China Sea can ripple across the globe, from Manila's fishing boats to Main Street in America. If you were Hawk Riley, with a radar lock screaming in your cockpit, how would you keep calm? If gas prices hit $5 or your next phone costs 20% more, how would you adapt? Should America hold firm and risk escalation, or ease off to preserve peace? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more hard-hitting breakdowns of the moments shaping our world. Tonight, war was avoided, but the question remains, next time, when the jets fly closer and the alarms scream louder, will we still be lucky? Or will the South China Sea finally ignite?